Okay guys, so today let's talk about this prophetic meme coin, which is called PEPE. Yeah, the frog meme coin. Yeah guys, I seriously didn't know that this PEPE meme coin was originally derived from this internet comic series that began in 2005, I think it was. I actually didn't know that PEPE was actually a character in that online comic. I was completely unaware. And that's where I recognized this other character that is called Brett. They've also launched a meme coin after this character as well. So apparently this web series that I'd forgotten the name of the writer of this comic. I'll probably put it on the screen. But they had several different characters in this web comic series. And the PEPE frog was one of them. And as a matter of fact, this PEPE character actually grew to become very popular starting from 2015 onwards. And that's how the community behind PEPE just basically exploded overnight, essentially after the coin was launched. That contributed to its explosion, to its rise, because they had beforehand had a large following of this PEPE character from the internet comic series that this fellow here had launched. Now, PEPE doesn't really have any utility aside from the fact that it's a deflationary token, which means that it has a burn tax. Every time there's a transaction with PEPE, 1% of that transaction fee goes to a pool, and from this pool, every PEPE holder will get a portion. So the transaction fee that is accumulated in this pool will be distributed amongst every person that holds this PEPE token. So that's their deflationary mechanism. So aside from that, PEPE actually doesn't have any utility. It is completely driven by community. It's a community-driven token. Now, as we've learned historically, especially with those moves that it's made since its inception, we can't by any means underestimate the power of these coins that are driven by community. Most certainly not. Because of the millions of die-hearted fans behind the original idea of PEPE, which was the comics, now turned into a cryptocurrency, we have to take this coin very seriously, whether it has utility or not. Its first pump from the 6 zeros area all the way up to 4 zeros was mainly driven by community, guys. So don't underestimate the power of community. There are several coins that has very powerful community, XRP and Shiba Inu. And whenever the time comes for these coins to pump, it's because of the large die-hearted fans of these coins that causes them to pump so rapidly and so explosively. So we can't disregard the power of community-driven tokens. Now, currently we see that PEPE is at the 401 area, and it has been hovering around this area for quite a while. It's been consolidating right around this area for a number of weeks now. And the bigger question is, when is it going to make that 1 cent move? Because we know that that is coming very soon, especially considering where Bitcoin is at currently. We can use that to gauge how near this move is. And that is the question. Now, I know that there's a 1 cent move coming. I know that for a fact. But not only that, we know that in the future as well, PEPE is one of those coins, just like Shiba Inu, that is also community driven, is going to go well over $1. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that's going to shock a lot of people. I've been watching PEPE. I've been watching how it moves. And this PEPE coin has speed in particular. Whenever it begins to move, it moves very rapidly, very, very quickly, guys. And again, it's all because of the community that is behind this PEPE. It's a very strong, a very large community, very much like Shiba Inu. Now, I know that the circulating supply is pretty large as well, just like Shiba Inu. I think Shiba Inu has something like 500 and something trillion. And I think PEPE has something like 540 trillion. So they're pretty close. But much like BNB Tiger, we know that they're going to do burns, guys. And Shiba Inu, BNB Tiger, Pepe, Shiba Inu, we know that burns are coming. And this is going to tremendously affect the price and the price movements, guys. So we can't be paying too much attention to circulating supply and any of that. What's foremost is that we believe the prophecies. And Pepe is a prophetic coin. Now, as far as the 1 cent move, I honestly do not know when this will occur. I could only assume, I could only, just guess that perhaps it will be in the case like Shiba Inu, where currently Bitcoin's like at 120,000. And I'm expecting it to go up to that prophetic number of 133,000. Whenever Bitcoin starts to pump higher, it could pump higher, just like Shiba Inu will. It could have a pump. But again, like Shiba Inu, I wouldn't be expecting that bigger pump to come until Bitcoin crashes some. And that large amount of liquidity starts to shift from Bitcoin into these other coins. That's what I'm thinking, that the big or a pump up to 1 cent with Pepe would occur. You see, and as for the bigger pump, that would come later. But there's an explosive move that is coming for Pepe, guys. It's going all the way up to 1 cent. Currently it's at 4 zeros, so up to 1 cent, that's still a substantial pump, guys. And like I said, I don't know when it may occur. If it could occur while Bitcoin is pumping up to that 133K to 150, I'm thinking more likely after Bitcoin crashes some, because as I've mentioned before, Bitcoin is just pretty selfish and just does not like to share none of that liquidity with any other coin. So I'm thinking more than less that big pump that the Pepe fans, Pepe holders have been waiting for will come after Bitcoin starts to capitulate, starts to sell off some, and that liquidity starts to shift to these other coins. And then it's going to have an explosive, guys, an explosive move. Pepe is going to move so fast. I've always watched and observed how it moves. And I tell you, it has speed over majority of these other coins, over majority of these other meme coins. You see, I've literally noticed that. I've watched it from the past, because it just began in April of 2023. And since its inception around April of 2023, it just got up and went over $1 billion market cap. I think currently it's at a $5 billion market cap. So I've noticed the speed of this coin. You see, they created it in reaction to Shiba Inu's success and Dogecoin's success as well. And it just ripped immediately, guys. It just got up and took off, created a lot of millionaires. One of which I could have been one, because I knew about it then. I saw it at those times when it was, when it just got into the markets, when it just came on the exchanges. But because of my personal dislike for frogs, that kind of deterred me. You see, I didn't even think to purchase it. And that was an error. It had to do with an error in the way that I thought at the time. But, this has since then changed, because I understand that God uses the foolish things. So I could have already became a multimillionaire using this particular coin. But since I was corrected, I started watching this coin, and I noticed that whenever it moves, because of the community behind it, it moves very quickly. You see, the moves with Pepe is very, very explosive, guys. So please do not underestimate Pepe. For the ones that are interested, I'm not a financial advisor, please, you guys decide for yourselves if you feel that you're being drawn to Pepe. I can't give you any advice. I could only recommend. And like I said, I'm not entirely sure when this explosive move to 1 cent will be. I don't think anyone does, unless maybe you go to the Lord and he gives you a hint. But I'm pretty sure that it's coming. The 1 cent move is coming, and the move to over $1, just like Shiba Inu, they're inevitable, guys. They're inevitable. They're coming. But as far as this 1 cent move, I'm thinking more than less, it will be after BTC starts to tumble that we'll see this move with Pepe, this explosive move. And it's going to get up and create a lot of millionaires just like Shiba Inu as well. So that is coming for Pepe, guys. And, that's what I wanted to share concerning this coin. For all of you guys out there that are fans of Pepe and are holding it, I'd say just do whatever Yah leads you to do. If he leads you to keep holding it currently, just do what he says. Hold it. But as for me, I would wait for a time for it personally. I would wait for it to crash some. Right? Currently it's at the 4 zeros. I'd wait for it to crash down even at least to the 5 zeros. Even better if you could get it down to, if you see, listen, if any of you guys out there see Pepe crash all the way down to 6 zeros, I would recommend get some. Just like Shiba Inu, guys. It's going to do just as well as Shiba Inu. It's currently at a $5 billion market cap, and it's going to go up significantly higher than that. Significantly higher. You see. So yeah, guys, that's all I wanted to share concerning this prophetic coin, this meme coin of the frog, Pepe. And it's going to bless a lot of people in the future. A lot of people are going to become millionaires because of this Pepe token. And I'm just saying my piece here, leaving it even as a evidence for people to come back in the future to look at and to know that I have said these things even before they had occurred. Now, may Yah bless you all. You guys take care. Until next time, peace and shalom.